Hello everybody, this is Godzilla here, back with another video, and today I'm going to cover some of the stuff that I missed on November the 3rd to talk about for Godzilla's 70th year anniversary with a whole new figures and some official Godzilla -2 news. That is right, happening in this video right now. We have a lot to talk about, so let's begin. For starters, we're going to talk about the movie Monster series. Bandai released their short teaser, which in it we get a lot of new figures that are coming to the movie Monster series line. Some really amazing figures in this little teaser. So let's begin with the figures that are in the teaser. For starts, we have a Godzilla -1 figure, which this one is based off of the marketing poster for the movie that we see, an epic shot of Godzilla of -1 there that we've seen. This figure obviously looks really good. Bandai's been just releasing a bunch of -1 figures recently, obviously because -1 did so well, but still though, kind of getting sick of the -1 figures. But all in all, this still looks like a great figure to add into the collection of or any collectors, and especially if you're a fan of the new Godzilla movie, Godzilla -1. Definitely recommend picking this one up because this one just looks amazing. This especially will look good on any Godzilla fans toy page on Instagram. You'll get some really good shots from this figure. Don't know when this will be available, but so far this is what we got revealed in the teaser. But another thing we got revealed in the teaser is a Destroyer figure, which is unknown at the moment because the figure hasn't been shown yet. We just got a black silhouette of the figure, but we got another Destroyer to add to the movie Monster series line, and this one looks big. I mean, looks like this one's going to be an improvement from the last Destroyer figure that movie Monster series released. So I am looking forward to this one. There's no pictures of it, unfortunately, so I can't wait to see this thing in all its full glory. The next figure that we have is a Godzilla 1965 figure doing the dance, of course, that iconic dance scene in this invasion of Astro Monster. Obviously, this is a figure that I'm just going to get 100% because it's one of the most iconic moments in the Godzilla franchise, and, you know, I would love to have this in my collection. But I still hope we do eventually get a 1965 figure that isn't stuck in this pose, so I hope Bandai does eventually make that. But all in all, I'm going to pick this one up 100%. The next figure that we have is two figures, actually, and that is the Godzilla Fest Jet Jaguar figure. And we have another Jet Jaguar with the Gigan hooks, which I think is amazing, that figure. These two look really good. I hope they're not in a set together. Let's hope that they're not in a set together because Bandai will obviously juggernaut the price of it. But so far, I especially am dying for that Jet Jaguar with the Gigan claws. The other one also looks good, but it's just the exact same mold as the original Jet Jaguar that movie Monster series released. So all in all, these two, I just hope they're not in a set, but they look really, really good, and I really want to get both of these. But I'm especially looking forward for the Jet Jaguar with Gigan hooks. But anyway, the big news, however, for movie Monster series is another memorial box-like set. But this time it's just going to be with these 5 Godzilla monsters that we've all been dying for the movie Monster series line. And yep, this is all going to be available in a set, unfortunately, so the price is going to, you know, jack up. But let's have a look at these figures. The first figure that we have to take a look at is Anguirus 1968, which looks exactly like the original Bandai mold for the Anguirus released in the Godzilla Island series. With some differences on this figure though, but this figure does actually look really nice, so I would really like to pick this one up as well. I mean, I think we would all expect an Anguirus 68 to look exactly like the original Bandai figure for the movie Monster series line. This figure definitely does look very neat, and I probably will be picking this one up, who knows. But the next figure we have is Showa King Ghidorah, that is right. The Showa King Ghidorah, which they reused the mold from the blue King Ghidorah that they released, which I'm not surprised that they reused that mold, obviously. This figure does look very nice still, and I obviously am dying for a Showa Ghidorah in my collection. I just really want that figure. That might be my third favorite figure from the bunch. I'm not too sure about the size, but I think it's going to be quite big because it's a Ghidorah figure. But anyways, Showa Ghidorah, just definitely a must-have. And the next figure is going to be the Showa Mechagodzilla, Godzilla 1974. And I'm sorry about this, but I don't really like this figure that much in terms of sculptor-wise. He looks kind of slim, and also he reminds me of the figure that Bandai released, that smaller Mechagodzilla figure that was released by Bandai America, I'm pretty sure. But I still need a Showa Mechagodzilla, so I might get this one if I get the collection. But still though, I do think he looks good in terms of paint. There's nothing really that much to say, except that it's a show of Mechagodzilla. But the next figure is exciting, and that's Kamacuras. That's right, we are getting a Bandai Kamacuras, and I don't know how long it's been since the Godzilla collection, since Kamacuras was in the Bandai line. It looks awesome. I hope we do get a 2004 Kamacuras. Definitely looks amazing, and definitely looks movie accurate compared to the original one. I will be picking this one up 100% because, I mean, there is no Kamacuras like figure available really. There is no Kamacuras figure besides the original Bandai figure, which goes for hundreds of dollars. That's really available, and this is a new Kamacuras figure, and I can't wait to pick this one up because, I mean, there's no Kamacuras. But the final one, and this one's the special one, that's Gabra. That is right, I knew it. We were gonna get a Gabra figure ever since it won the poll, and definitely I think it's a nice looking figure. This is probably the one that I really want the most out of this set, the Gabra figure. I know I don't really like the design and really of Gabra in the actual movie, but still though, having a Gabra figure is just awesome, and we have never gotten a Gabra figure, so this one's going to be really special for the movie monster series and for this box set, and it's definitely the one that most collectors are definitely going to want to pick up. So that is the box set of all the figures. This box set will run for around $130, which does sound like a lot, but really you're paying for like, well, I don't know, $20 to $30 each figures, and obviously that Gabra is definitely worth a bit, as well as the Ghidorah being big, so I get why it's that price, but still though, unfortunately, me getting the box set, I don't know if I will, and we'll be able to afford it. But let's still hope that Bandai eventually does re-release these figures, this time without the box set and just plain figures, if this box set does well though. I hope so. But anyway, these look really good and I really want them in the collection. Moving on to SH Monster Arts, which released something really huge just recently, and that is the SH Monster Arts Anguirus 1968. That is right, I kind of knew that we were getting an Anguirus figure from SH Monster Arts, particularly the 1968 one, because we recently got Godzilla 1968. Or was it 72? I don't know. Anguirus 68, Anguirus 72, whatever you want to call him, is finally real in the SH Monster Arts line. And this is him next to Godzilla, and they just look so good together. I really want both these figures, oh my god. But let's hope that he is not a Bandai Premium. He looks nice and he looks straight out of the movie, which is what I really like about him. Anyway, I think SH Monster Arts nailed it with this figure, and I really want this guy in my collection. Are you guys going to be thinking about picking up the 1972 Anguirus? I do think this is a win for SH Monster Arts. Moving on to Super 7, we have a Space Godzilla Ultimate figure, which is the movie poster version, which looks... Honestly, it looks like the Trendmasters Space Godzilla figure. Doesn't really that much look like the poster art version, I'm being honest. And anyway, I'm not really interested in the Ultimate Super 7 line, just to let people know. But this is just still news, and it looks really cool still. I really like how it looks like the Trendmasters figure. I'm pretty sure this is a repaint of the Ultimate Space Godzilla figure. Are you guys going to be picking this one up? And the next thing from Super 7 we have is another Godzilla -1. This one's the Atomic Breath or the Atomic Blast version with the spines, obviously. Unfortunately, though, there is no Atomic Breath piece, which I think sucks about this. They could have added an Atomic Breath piece and an explosion effect. I think that was a huge miss, but I think I would jack up the price a lot, unfortunately. But I mean, this is just pretty much the Super 7 Godzilla -1 figure, but this time repainted. And also, I've just realized the dorsal plates, they're also up to represent the scene where his dorsal plates are getting ready to fire. I think that's really the unique thing about this figure, but I mean, it's just a repaint of Godzilla -1 Super 7 Ultimate figure. Anyway, are you guys going to be picking this one up? Me, I'm not really into Super 7 Ultimate Godzilla figures, so I don't think I'm going to be picking these two up. However, I'm still interested in picking up the Super 7 Ultimate Godzilla -1, the regular figure. I hope to get that eventually, though. But the final thing and the biggest news that we have is official confirmed from Takashi Yamazaki that he is potentially interested in making a Godzilla -1 sequel. That is why we've been hearing about this from Toho and Takashi Yamazaki, that there could be a potential Godzilla -1 sequel for a long time, ever since -1. I think before -1 was even released, we heard this news. And right now, the director of Godzilla -1, Takashi Yamazaki, has said that he has plans for a sequel, And he says that he wants another giant monster in the movie. I've heard some people think that he's going to maybe put in another giant monster. And the monsters that have been floating around, people are saying is obviously, is it Anguirus, is it Biolante, is it Hedorah? And personally, in my opinion, I don't know if they're gonna put in a monster. I mean, I think they're at the end of the day, there might be a monster for Godzilla to face off. But in the end of the day, we are getting a Godzilla minus sequel 1, 2. I am a bit 50-50 on a sequel to Godzilla minus 1. For one, I mean, there is a part of me that really, obviously, I really want to see what they are doing in Godzilla in this sequel, especially because Takashi Yamazaki says he wants to do it, so that's a good sign if he says he wants to do it, because that means, because Takashi Yamazaki is a great director, and what he did with Godzilla Minus One was incredible, especially with the characters and Godzilla himself, the way that it was all set up in the world of Godzilla Minus One. Wouldn't say it felt fresh, but it definitely did kind of feel fresh, and kind of a new take on the solo Godzilla story, just a little bit. But the way Takashi Yamazaki with his characters and the building up of Godzilla in that Godzilla Minus One, it was just really, really good. Which is why is my favorite Godzilla movie, and is even better than the 1954 movie in my own opinion. So by saying he wants to do it, I really have hopes for Godzilla the sequel now, just because he said it, but that he wants to do it. But my other side, and obviously getting into the more negative side of this, is that obviously it could be a bit of a cash grab in my own opinion, and it probably would ruin the story of the first Godzilla Minus One movie. Now, I'm not saying that is the case, but it might be, but I don't think that will be the case 100%. I think that Takashi Yamazaki will definitely deliver for this movie, but on my other side, I just think that it could probably affect the first Godzilla Minus One movie if they make a sequel. And that's because the first movie works as a standalone movie. And I'm curious on what they're going to do in this movie, because I don't know, it might take place 10 years after Godzilla Minus One, like in the 50s or 1954, when the first Godzilla, attacked Japan in the first Godzilla movie. They could do that. Or they could probably set it in the modern day with some new characters and another new Godzilla. And they'll probably put in another new monster for Godzilla to fight maybe in the movie. But what I'm also more curious about is the family that we see in the first Godzilla Minus One movie and the sequel. Like, I really want Shikishima's daughter maybe, or sort of like adopted daughter, could be like the main character where she's all grown up and it's been 10 years after the last Godzilla Minus One movie or the last Godzilla attack, and she's trying to support her family. Obviously, something's wrong with Noriko, of course, because you remember at the end of the Godzilla Minus One, she had that black infection thing on her neck, which I think is, some people pointed out, is supposed to be represent like Godzilla, like she has like Godzilla's cells in her or something like that. Like, that is really cool. They should expand on that more in the sequel if they focus more on the family. But yeah, I would really like to see the family back in Minus Two. Obviously, I want to see Godzilla. I reckon Godzilla might be a new form in this movie, and it won't be like the same Godzilla that we see in Minus One, because that Godzilla's got defeated, and obviously he's regenerating, so he might be more powerful than ever since Godzilla Minus One. He could even be much more bigger. Who knows? And obviously, I think they're probably going to be a bit of a new design for it, I think. Obviously, speculating on monsters, I don't know if he's going to put in any monsters. Of course, lots of people are saying Hedorah and Anguirus and Biolante. I think Hedorah could be interesting. However, I don't think as a sequel to Godzilla Minus One, I wouldn't add in Hedorah into it, I'm being honest. I would rather see Anguirus than Hedorah, because Anguirus hasn't had a film debut since Godzilla Final Wars. But honestly, I wouldn't really want to see a monster in this movie. I would like to have it just a standalone Godzilla movie, if I'm being honest, because I feel like it works with Godzilla as the main focus in this movie. And if you focus on another monster, then we could see more monsters like Ghidorah and Rodan and Mothra. Just all in all characters that don't really that much, in my opinion, belong in the Minus One universe. Like, introducing Ghidorah, I think, is very strange, because, I mean, it wasn't really set it up in the first Godzilla Minus One, and it would just be weird if an alien from outer space appears in, this dark and more brutal setting of Godzilla Minus One. I think you know what I'm talking about. I just don't think that's really realistic. I just want the more realistic approach to Godzilla, and obviously I think a solo Godzilla movie would be definitely better for this Godzilla Minus One franchise that they're going for. That's if they are doing it a franchise, if they're just making a sequel here and that's it. But anyway, I am excited. I want to see what Takashi Yamazaki's going to do. A lot of people are saying that the budget for the movie is going to be high. It's going to be in like the 30 to 40 million. I don't think so. Honestly, I don't care that much about money in film. I prefer it as an art form more than, money. Obviously, lots of people like the first minus one movie just because it was made on a lesser budget, which I don't get those people. Obviously, they annoy the hell out of me. Obviously, there's a lot more thought brought into Godzilla minus one, and that's why I really love this movie. Obviously, I hope they don't go for a more monsterverse tone to this movie. I don't think so. But anyway, I can't wait to see what Takashi Yamazaki does with this movie, and I don't know when we'll get this film, but still though, it's still exciting that we are eventually getting a Godzilla minus one sequel. So what do you guys think of the news? That was it for Godzilla's 70th year anniversary. Toho definitely went out with a bang with this 70th year anniversary, and I love the stuff that was shown off today, especially with figures and this news, of course. So anyway, hope you all guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next adventure.